I cannot believe I'm saying this, but welcome to TS12.
She was a showgirl.
Oh my god. She's on her way. Tell everyone.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Calm!
Sabrina Carpenter is on this album. I have prayed for days like this. Let's talk about the life of a showgirl. Just a heads up, I probably will not have a single coherent thought in this video. Like, I'm obviously still processing everything, but that is not what these last minute emergency videos are about anyway. If you would like something a little bit more planned out, more analytical, more well prepared, you can subscribe and come back next week when I will be more back in our current reality. Anyway, in this video, I'm gonna talk you through everything we know, all of the Easter eggs we missed, important information about, I haven't even said the title yet. I can't believe we know what this is called. The Life of a Showgirl.
Tears and Troy.
What?
The Life of a Showgirl.
This is so weird to say because I know I was excited about previous albums. I don't know if I've ever been this excited about a new Taylor Swift album before. I don't know why that is. In fact, actually, no, I do have some theories. We'll get there. But yes, if any of you are brand new, hi, my name is Ali. I'm so sorry that you are finding me on a day like this when I just feel so disheveled and unprepared. I, in full transparency, just got home from a funeral. This was announced whilst I was very much preoccupied and like not able to be online and share that moment with you guys. And I am about to leave in 45 minutes for a flight to the airport.
This is my brand new album, The Life of a Showgirl.
So you are getting me on a very weird day and I apologize for that, but like I just simply could not miss this chance to sit down with you guys, share my theories, share the information before we learn more, because moments like this is when I just feel the community so strong. It is so lively, I guess I would say, and like open and warm and excitable. What can I say? There is just nothing better than a brand new, fresh Taylor Swift era. And honestly, I can't believe it has happened again so soon. This woman gave us a double album, essentially 2 albums just last year. I say this a lot, but I really do feel sorry for people that are fans of like other artists that don't get the treatment we get because we are so incredibly spoiled. Even like newer fans, I don't know if you realize how abnormal this is to be so continuously well fed of high quality food, mind you, and a lot of it. We are just blessed. So let's talk about the life of a showgirl.
Will you be mad if it's Showgirls again? I got the deluxe edition with shot glasses and a drinking game.
She was a showgirl.
This is what, our 3rd or 4th album announcement rollout reaction that we are experiencing together. And honestly, nothing makes me happier. Nothing brings me more joy. I know some of you will understand this, but for the past 24 hours, I've just had like the Swiftie zoomies knowing something is about to happen. I think personally, it's really fun for me as someone that doesn't like clown that often. I'm quite conservative when it comes to my theorizing. That means that when something does actually happen and I like catch a whiff, you know, my spidey senses tingle, then I'm able to get really excited because at that point, I've just convinced myself that it is happening. And that was very much the case yesterday. By the way, if my light changes, it is because it's raining outside, and when that happens, I don't know, my place doesn't like it. I also think it's just helping me set the mood. Firstly, I need to say this. I cannot believe that we found out about this album from a male podcast. Like, part of me wondered if Taylor would never make an appearance on New Heights. I thought maybe they'll keep those worlds separate. But mind you, Travis Kelce did appear on the Eras Tour stage, so clearly nothing is off the table. And speaking of which, I think it's very important and interesting to note that when Travis did appear on stage, it was for I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, which was a showgirl themed performance. I would love to go back into my like reactions and Tortured Poets deep dive and see exactly what I said about that performance, because I likened it to a lot of old Hollywood and kind of glamorous performances like Showgirls, and I just can't believe that that actually was something. Yeah, for any newer fans, this is kind of a world first to hear about this on someone else's platform. That said, I did find out from Taylor's website, which is the first thing I refreshed when I got to my phone besides seeing all my texts. If people didn't see that, if they didn't follow the countdown, it would have been from Travis and Jason's Instagram reel. And at the time of me filming this, which is August 12th, 4:14 p.m. Taylor has still not made an Instagram post about this. She has changed her profile picture and we have kind of like the locked reveal coming, which is so exciting. I just think this album cover is going to be my favorite of all time. I can already tell. But yeah, she still has not posted about it. I'm going to double check that that is still the case. I just love when my whole feed is Taylor Swift. Like, so glad the algorithm knows I don't care about anything else today. Okay, in fairness, it was a collab post. That is insane. That is like a bigger deal than getting married, I think. A collaboration Instagram post is wild. I guess I'll let her off the hook for that because she can't reveal the album artwork yet. And can I say, I'm so happy that she's doing that. I love being drip fed information. I know a lot of this unfortunately has leaked on Twitter. I saw people talking about it, haven't seen the leaks myself personally, but the fact that we get to find out A, that there is a new album, and then B, the title of it, then eventually we'll get the album artwork, then eventually the track list. I'm just really hoping that those leaks don't spoil this like they kind of did with Midnights and maybe Tortured Poets. One of my favorite things about Taylor album rollouts is all of these details because she puts so much work and effort into it, and I would like to selfishly reap the benefits of that and get to experience like that proper rollout. So yeah, I'm very excited that we haven't seen the album cover yet. I am a little less excited about the colors, not gonna lie.
Whoever said orange is the new pink was seriously disturbed.
As someone who loves to fit the theme of an era that we're in, when I make videos for you guys, you'll notice Tortured Poets, I wore white for 2 years straight, which was really not that hard. It is my favorite color to wear. But orange and like mint blue, I'm gonna struggle. As you can see, this is not at all the colors. It was the closest I could get to Showgirl vibes. I think the two colors that do not exist in my wardrobe are mint green and orange. So I will be doing some thrifting this weekend for sure. In reality, what I actually think happened when deciding the album theme and the vibe for this is, you guys might remember when I went to the Eras tour, I wore this bodysuit. So beautiful. One of my subscribers made it for me. It's genuinely the best thing I've ever worn. It's gonna be a bummer one day when I get married and it's not as beautiful as this. However, Taylor liked my reel where I was like wearing this and posted about how iconic and beautiful my outfit was and I wanted to wear it more than once. And she said, that's a really good idea, Ali. I would love for you to be able to wear this Showgirl's costume more than once. I think I'll just make a whole album around that theme for you so you can wear it again. So now knowing what we know about the life of a showgirl, which again, I just cannot get over this title. I'm so obsessed with it. I'm so excited. We need to note that there are a few references Taylor has made in recent years that are quite possibly a nod to this. Firstly, we have music video looks that are, I would say, very reminiscent, if not exactly referencing Showgirls. Some might say those were worn too many years ago to have been like an Easter egg or a reference to this, but to that I say,
how far is too far in advance? Can I hint at something 3 years in advance?
She's done it before, she'll do it again. I also think this Taylor in the anti-hero music video is quite interesting. Here we see her next to a Taylor in all white, which could reference the Tortured Poets department, and then our orange, shiny, sparkly Taylor. Like, look at the sparkles on those shorts. I think it's definitely possible. We have long theorized that TS12 would be represented by the color orange, mostly because there is just not really another color left in the rainbow spectrum and more importantly, the Apple iPhone emoji collection. So just a reminder that if anyone at Apple is watching this, you guys need to make some more colors because Taylor Swift needs to create more albums. Obviously, we do have My Baby Beautiful Eyes that was orange, but I think since it was only an EP, we don't really count it, and that emoji is still open for free use. However, I think this is our official emoji for the album. It was used by Taylor Nation yesterday and in the New Heights reel today, so I'm locking that in, that's confirmed. And I feel personally vindicated that the Eras Tour orange door, we can now confirm that that did in fact mean something. So at the end of every show, there was this orange door visible at the Eras Tour on the screen behind the stage, and only on the very last night of the tour, once that kind of chapter had closed, you might say, did Taylor finally walk through it. She walked through that orange door into this brand new chapter. I also wonder if this choice for orange relates to the fact that it is the Chiefs colors combined, red and yellow. I think we'd be ignorant to overlook that fact. I think it's definitely possible. Ironically, until this week, I would have dismissed people that thought this was proof of the color scheme, because I was like, well, no, that was just Eras Tour theme and like the page theme, and the text just happened to be there. However, I've never been happier to be proved wrong. So I really want to talk about the importance of these colors because I think they are incredibly deliberate. We haven't really had a dual color scheme before. I guess like with Tortured Poets, we kind of had the black and white, but this for one album is a whole new ball game. Mind you, this could also be a double album, but until we find out more, I'm operating under the assumption that it is just a regular album rollout. So this could definitely be a reach, but the fact that it is two colors, and I would say two colors that we don't really see together that often, to me indicates it could be a reference to the process of copper oxidizing. And again, I know this sounds far-fetched, but like to create a visual of something that was once shiny and bronzed, or like a statue that was a prized, valued, you know, beloved thing that with time lost its shine. I think that very much represents kind of what this showgirl motif might be. In my mind, I'm very much likening it to The Lucky One and that new Pamela Anderson movie, The Last Showgirl. But in my mind, there will be celebrations of this, but also discussion around, you know, the downfall of that.
It's about how horrible being famous is.
What happens when you are nothing new? So if you think about something like the Statue of Liberty, which was originally a bronzed shiny copper, but with time and significant wear, eventually turned to a teal mint green. Again, I know this sounds so far-fetched, but to anyone that is a Swiftie and like knows how Taylor's brain works, I think it is definitely possible. I just really think one of the main themes explored on this album is going to be that kind of bejeweled nature and how it's fleeting. We discussed this a lot in Clara Bow and Nothing New, but that kind of shine you have, that kind of radiance you only have at 17, how it might feel to lose that. So right now, the vibe I have for this album in my head is like, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, Clara Bow, Mirrorball, Nothing New, and then a hint of like Circus by Britney Spears and The Greatest Showman thrown in for good measure. I feel like maybe this is my sign to finally watch the movie Moulin Rouge. If you guys think I would like that, let me know. This time last year when she announced Tortured Poets, I said that your homework was to go home and watch Dead Poets Society. And I think the homework I'm assigning all of us this week is to go and watch The Last Showgirl. The thing I am probably the most excited about for this album is that I think it is going to be very glittery gel pen. If you don't know, Taylor Swift songs are kind of categorized into 3 different songwriting styles. That is glittery gel pen, fountain pen, and quill, which kind of describes the essence of the song itself. So a glittery gel pen song would be Hits Different or Paris. Definitely my kind of vibe. The fact that the New Heights podcast thumbnail is usually like a blank yellow color, and this week for Taylor's episode is a shiny, glittery orange, kind of tells me everything I need to know, really. And a fun fact is that that background is the exact same image that was behind Taylor's master's purchase announcement letter, just more saturated and orange. So I just love Swiftie brains. The fact that we were able to figure that out. Once again, it's a good thing Taylor puts her brain to pop culture and songwriting and not being a serial killer, because her mind. Another very exciting assumption that I personally have made is that this album will have a Sabrina Carpenter feature. So yesterday, Taylor Nation posted a very deliberate selection of images online. I guess I should explain like how we got here. And that's this. So Taylor Nation posted not 1, not 2, not 10, but 12 photos of Taylor on the Eras tour wearing orange in every single picture, with a caption that got us all on high alert. And you'll note that Taylor is alone in all of these photos except for the last one. So that to me confirms that Sabrina Carpenter is on this album, and I need no further proof, Your Honor. Like, that is locked in for me, that is confirmed. And I, for one, am very excited about that. I just think there is no one better that I could see her like telling this story, both emotionally and also visually with. I am so excited. Taylor really saw us all saying there's no song of the summer and said, you're in a crisis, I'm on my way. I think in recent years, Sabrina's vibe really has kind of screamed showgirl a little bit, especially in her music videos and stage outfits. And as two women that are in this industry and have been in this industry for a decade, and you know, Taylor obviously more so than Sabrina, I just think it's a great conversation to hear from them. I don't know if it's possible to be so excited about something, but I can't believe she's blessed us again this quickly. There is truly no one alive more productive than Taylor Swift, and it scares me. I really get why other fandoms hate us. Like, I probably would too. Another really beautiful, I'm not going to say coincidence because I don't think it is, another invisible string or instance that is quite fun is that the Red booklet, which came out 13 years ago, talked about Taylor one day wanting to find a love like this that wasn't, you know, close to the one that she writes about on that album. She kind of ended that off with, hopefully someday I'll find that. And to look at where she is now in her life and how this album was announced.
This is my brand new album, The Life of a Showgirl.
TS12!
Yeah. I think it's safe to say that she definitely has. Another exciting detail, which again has not been confirmed, but to me, I've confirmed it for myself. So if this is the confirmation you need, I will give it to you. This album has been produced by Max Martin and Shellback. If you are a nostalgic little bitch like me, or a pop lover, or a glittery gel pen lover, this album is for us. Taylor shared a link to a Spotify playlist that has a list of songs that I guess she thinks represents the album, and every single one of them is produced by Max Martin and or Shellback. You guys know I love Jack Antonoff, you know I love Aaron Dessner, but Max Martin, I don't think Max Martin has ever produced a song that I don't love. I prayed for days like this. I am so excited for my pop queen to return to her seat on the throne at the very top. For Taylor to go from accepting her Grammy Award for 1989, saying that she climbed that hill and didn't have a partner she could high five, to now announcing TS12, which will be her 5th Grammy Album of the Year win. Let me just touch some wood. I don't want to jinx anyone. On her boyfriend's incredibly successful podcast. Do I believe men should have podcasts? No, but I will make an exception for this one. Like, I can't believe tomorrow they're gonna have the most downloaded or watched or viewed podcast episode in history. It's just so beautiful seeing Taylor be celebrated by someone who loves her so much, and not in spite of who she is, but also because of it. It's crazy to think about the fact that I started making these kind of pop culture videos in lockdown to cope with the very hard reality that I was living in and that most of us were living in. You know, we talked about folklore and Evermore and eventually Midnights and Tortured Poets, and now we're all just in such a different place in our lives. And now to be getting an album that is, I'm assuming, going to be very, very different. Time is a social construct, but it is fun to measure it in Taylor Swift albums. You guys know I love anytime Taylor writes and sings about fame and the experience of that. So I don't know how many times I can say it. I'm very excited for this album. I have so much to think about and to say, and I cannot wait to read the lyrics that she's written for this. By the way, if you guys would like more videos like this from me reacting to or explaining the album artwork, the track list when we get those, give this video a like to let me know, because I personally would really love that. The fact that there are songs out there that we don't know, that we will someday soon know. Like, what is track 5 going to be? Oh my god. The fact that last year we saw the Eras Tour dancers using those big orange feathery props to rehearse with, and they were orange, then they got changed to white for the show. Do we think that that was going to be like an Easter egg that Taylor shared with us and then decided not to yet, or was that really just for rehearsal? I also really hate to admit this because everyone's been saying it, and internally I was like, there's just no way, like that's not a real Easter egg, that's not a clue. But in this video, when Taylor was positioned in front of A12 in the seating directions, everyone said that's going to be an album release date, and I was like, there's just no way. There's so many different areas of a stadium that are labeled, that has to be a coincidence. And yet today's date, August 12th. So this is me formally apologizing to those of you that I never critiqued. I just, in my mind, didn't agree with you, and you're probably right. Also, Taylor shared her master's announcement how many weeks ago? 12. Yep. And how many I's did she use here? 12.
I forgot to mention, but in case it wasn't already obvious, Taylor announced this album at 12/12 on the 12th of the month. I just love her so much.
Anytime people start to think, oh, that's a reach, that kind of Easter egg is just a coincidence, I want to remind you that she released Midnights on her 12,000th day of being alive. Like 12 on a clock, Midnights. That is who and what we are dealing with here. Another kind of recent little Easter egg we had is when Taylor Nation posted for August, and we had these specks of glitter that were in fact orange for no reason at all. If I had to theorize about Sabrina and Taylor's collab song, which I guess I do, because what else am I doing here otherwise? I would guess that it has to do with this moment from the Eras tour.
Sabrina, is there any chance you could get off the roller coaster you're on and like put on some clothes and just like come down to the stadium real quick?
Taylor mentioning put on some clothes felt deliberate, especially when we pair it with this tweet from Sabrina. I'm just seeing an overlap here. I hope you guys are too. And the fact that Gigi Hadid commented this, mark my words, that has something to do with Sabrina's feature. And if you went to Taylor's website now and looked at her letter about being able to purchase her masters, you will note that the background is no longer kind of a grayscale glitter. It is now also orange. And I want to share something that one of my beautiful friends on Twitter shared, which is this. It says, thinking about how the Showgirl performance of I Can Do It With a Broken Heart is actually what resuscitated her from the emotional death of the Tortured Poets department. I have no words. I also feel like in my heart of hearts, this also gives me hope about seeing that footage from the end of the Eras tour when they filmed the final 3 shows. What was that if not footage of the life of a showgirl? When you watch the New Heights podcast, look out in the background. I can already spot some things in that reel. Different variants of TS12, different colors. There's friendship bracelets in the background. I think there will be Easter eggs all over that video. I'd also like to read this tweet out to the class, which is, if this album has a star theme, I'd like to point out that tomorrow night is the peak of the Perseid meteor shower, and its comet is called Swift. Apologies if I didn't pronounce that properly. Perseid? Perseid? I feel so bad for everyone in my life that doesn't like Taylor Swift, but I'm also so excited that football fans are going to be subjected to hearing about Taylor Swift on the Boys podcast. That brings me so much joy. If you guys have any theories on when you think this album will come out, let me know. I think for sure it will not be in August. The Grammy cycle resets as of September 1st. There is no way it is going to come out in this year's cycle. I think this is a true return to form, an August announcement and like a fall release. It is also always possible that she could release The Life of a Showgirl, the pop upbeat version, and then a 2 a.m., 3 a.m. track release of The Death of a Showgirl with Jack and Aaron. Anything is possible. But let me know your theories below. I cannot wait to hear about the life of a showgirl, the epic highs and lows of showgirl football. I can't wait to talk to you again in another video very soon when we have more details about this album. But until then, thank you so much for being here with me. Subscribe down below, give the video a like if you enjoyed it and would like to see more from me. I will see you next time. Bye.
Is this what it feels